Okay, today is June. Lord, today is March the 11th, 2022. Um, Let me make sure that it's not the 10th, but I'm sure it's the 11th. Yeah, it's the 11th, 2022, and I want to make this video because I have some really good information to talk about, and I'm going to share it based on what I prayed to the Lord about. So, for starters, I want to show my picture that I drew of a black man. And at first, I started to um, draw 50 Cent, and I don't know why, but I went to 50 Cent, and then I immediately went to the Lord gave me the black man. So in the process of doing that, I want to talk about the revelation of that, of why a black man that I drew. Okay, for starters, and I was supposed to talk about this instead of just writing it, but I have to write the points down first. And the black male arrived or was conceived I want to put it this way. The black male was incubated in he was incubated in a scorned womb. In a scorned and oppressed womb. In the early stages of development, okay, I'm actually going to take a walk to the in highly populated areas of crime or in high crime areas, black male or black men lose sight of hope by witnessing traumatic experiences at an early age, which they lose sight of hope by witnessing traumatic experiences at an early age, which falters the stages of development. As a result of missed stages of development and as a result as a result of missed stages of development and as a result of as a result of missed stages of development and as a result of desensitization and mental health scarring. Basically, what the environment has done is crippled the black male mentally first, because the first stages of development comes from the family structure. Because psychology research supports and suggests that a child is most beneficial when there is a two-party family. So the black male is first stigmatized in this area because the average black male doesn't have a two-part family and only has a one-part structure. Therefore, getting a distorted view of what the family dynamic should be like. The mom is overworked and oppressed and stressed, and therefore she's angry and bitter, and oftentimes it comes out in different ways, which gives the child a distorted version of what the family dynamic is supposed to be, the male role in the situation and the woman's role. When a child experiences a lot of anger, a lot of exposure to violence, the child becomes desensitized, thus failing at the stage of development where he should learn right or wrong and the effects of responsibility and responsibility of his actions. This should be learned in the stages of pre-adolescence, of when the child is supposed to be experiencing or learning or mastering the stage of development where he's associating his actions with consequences. In the situation with low-income areas and high crime rate areas, this stage of development is not mastered. It's impossible for it to be mastered, even though a person technically knows right from wrong. The consequences of survival versus the consequences of not become greater. In layman's terms, this means that the person that I'll know right from wrong, but I have to survive. According to psychological research, a person put in a mode of survival or not will most of the time do what they have to do to survive, given the resources and limitations of their existence. Layman's terms, they gonna do what they gotta do to live. With that being said, in an environment where that is the mentality and a person feels like I'm gonna do what I have to do to live, I'm gonna do what I have to do to survive, the areas in which that person has that belief becomes detrimental to society when the resources in that area of where that person has that mindset is depleted. So what that basically means is, if in a highly populated area, the black male says, I cannot make it. I cannot make it. And this is not working out. And I have to do what I have to do to live. With that being said, that mindset spills over into your community. The person is already desensitized at the early stages of the development. So around 9 or 10, the child has witnessed so much violence, so much loss, so much grief that they are desensitized to the community. Therefore, the community is expecting for this child to grow up and function as normal when it is impossible. Therefore, the person is geared toward mental health when really the person was exposed to traumatic experiences at an early age that created the mental health need, that created the post-traumatic stress symptoms, in which the person comes out as aggressive, can come out as hostile, can come out as bitter, can come out as angry, can come out as non-compliant. In lamest terms, the people in the areas that don't have anything, I want to advocate for the black male, using what I see and using what happened to my children. And I want to give this solution and what I just said to Sheriff Roundtree, and I want to ask him to pray on it. And because I believe that he is a man of prayer, and I believe he believes in God, and I believe that I want him to hear this plan, and I want him, my heart, when the Lord gave it to me this morning, was to ask him to listen to it. And if he listened to it and he find favor with it, would he implement it? And I guarantee the Lord said it's going to bring his criminal rate down. And if anybody want to operate it, it should be actually done across the world. But it was intended for Augusta. But Augusta is dry. And they don't have no resources down there. And where the areas where that's the highest crime, the male feels like there is no hope. And so where there's the highest amount of crime, there's the highest amount of no hope. And so the first thing was to pray. And then the second thing was, God said, when my people humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will heal the land. I will hear them, and then I will heal the land. The land and the things that are going on are a direct effect to disobedience. And I am the one to know about that. And so with that being said, going to the guys, back to the black male, how is that relating to that? I want the sheriff to listen to this, and I want him to think about this, because the Lord said he will heal the land. What's going on in our communities and in our world is a part of end day prophecy. But it will get better for a season. But there is a method to it getting better. And the ultimate job and the ultimate goal of the entire planet is to get to green. And in order to get to green, you must relax the violence. And in order to relax the violence, you have to understand why the violence is there and understand the need, because regardless of whether we agree or not, statistical research says there is a reason for everything. And so to understand why your crime is the way that it is and the way that it's stored is to understand the society in which it's accruing. And being a native of Augusta, being born from there, being known there, and I'm a female, I'm telling you up front, is dry. And you got to know somebody to know somebody. And where the crime is highest, there needs to be a Save the Male campaign. And what that Save the Male campaign does is it gives you a weekend. we're going in these areas, a bunch of cops at one time, and we're bringing in staffing agencies, and we bringing in colleges, and we signing these people up for immediate stimulus for black males on this age to this age that qualify with more than three hardships, meaning you don't have a job, you don't have a vehicle, or you need this or you need that, or your income is under this level. We are here to help you. And even having a pistol buyback program. Buy the guns from them. Buy their pistols back and make it lucrative for them. And accept them with no questions. Bring it and we'll pay you. And what it's doing is it's allowing the systematic profile to be worked in reverse. Classical conditioning says whatever you do to get one result, if you want a different result, you have to undo it. So if you want to keep going the way that you're going, you're only going to fuel a fire that's already burning. The reason that the male is not conforming right now is what you're witnessing is the men are bucking against your system. And they're bucking against your system because they have lost. When somebody told me recently, I lost all these people to the system. And to a person that come up in this lifestyle, that's a death. A person that came up in this lifestyle advocating for that person, that says they killed all these people and they got away with it. And this is all I know. And they took everything from me and I'm going to go take it from them. And you can stop and change that by understanding that these areas have become nothing more than worldwide plantations of enslavement. And they're oppressed. And with psychological research, I can show that it is enslavement. And that the areas that are highly populated, that are highly dominated with stress, are the highly areas that are also populated with enslavement and oppression. And so with that made it said, a black male is not a male. And a male, according to psychological research, cannot thrive in an environment in which he does not feel value. According to psychological research, a male must thrive in an environment where he feels value, where he feels as if he is king of the jungle. A male must have that perception. And so when that is taken away, when that perception is no longer valid, what happens is that man looks for that identity in any way that he can get it. And in that way may be through violence. It may be through being an aggressive male in the home of where they beat their women. They're beating the women to get the respect that's being taken from them in the street. And so in order to calm the violence, we must give the king back his respect. And it may seem like the dumbest answer, but it is not. It's the smartest answer. We must put the king back on the throne. We must put the mental ability back into the male that says you can do whatever you want to do. And unfortunately, it's not through just placing a basketball court in their area. That only says this is a way to come work out the oppression, but it ain't going to stop. That's all that's saying by putting a basketball goal there. That's saying, here, come here, and this is a healthy way to work it out, but it's not going to end. that needs to be an educational structure in those areas built, a resource center that lets those men go there and say, hi, my name is John whatever, and I'm 50 years old and I don't have a job and I don't have no money and I got 4 kids and I've been out of prison this long and I'm trying to do this. And this person says, okay, you qualify for this immediate cash aid. You qualify for this amount to get your rent paid. You qualify for this for 30 days. And you know what that's going to do? That's going to end. It's going to reduce your criminal rate by over 51%. Reason being is because where there is hope, there is a way. And when the male feels there is no hope, they're basically saying, I'm going to get it how I live. Because of the fact of, I got to survive. I'm not going out like that. So because of that drive, I gotta, number one, feel like a king. I gotta eat. And everybody else got steak and I want steak too. And I deserve to have a steak too. That's what you got going on. And in order to reduce that, it's not by just doing a mass sweep of more African Americans, putting them in prison. It is literally by giving them respect, by going to them the same way, working social and racial profiling. You must work that system in reverse. According to operant conditioning, you must work it in reverse. And in doing so in reverse, you're going to create a formula. And the first part is to go to them. And go to them with your hands behind your back. That's the ultimate stance of servitude. And ask, how can we serve you? And let them come to you and tell you what they need. And by you having the Save the Male program in their areas, set up out there all day, they're coming, they're talking to you, they don't feel afraid, they're helping. We got mental health, we have this, we have staffing. The colleges needs to get off of their butts and go door to door and get these kids. Go to their areas and go get them when they're 17. Go get them when they're 18. What are you waiting for? Go give them hope. Go give them grants. Put grant writers on site. We're doing pro bono work. They need hope. They need hope. And now with gas prices soaring, with everything else going on in the world, and disaster is left and right and on its highest level in so many ways. I think that it is really, to be honest with you, from a spiritual standpoint, looking at it, I know people may think that I'm not one to talk about it a whole lot, but I do believe that God is with me, and I do believe that He authorizes this message. And I think that it is a state of emergency, and that you need to declare a state of emergency for the black males, and that you need to fully restore them back to kingship by allowing them to have the resources to master the levels of moral development that they did not. All you have is a bunch of adults running around with no resources that are expected to live lives, but they're not given the appropriate tools. And so basically what they're seeing is a house kit and a family kit, and then they open the box and somebody took all the tools out of here. It's like buying something from Goodwill and you hope all the parts are in there because this is a great buy. But darn, I got a wonderful, this is amazing. I got an amazing, Boss stereo system. This is hot. It's brand new. Still got the plastic. And I pull it out and take all the speakers and stuff out. Darn, it's not one wire. And that's what you got with the black male. And by going in there, by cultivating them, by going to their hood, by putting your hands behind your back and serving them and asking them, what do you need? How can we help? We got this. All these people are here today. We got music. We got food. You would be surprised at the results that you will get if you run a drive to give them hope. Run a drive. Take pastors out there. They should be there praying for the community. Do it. And you're going to reduce your crime. I bet in the weekend alone, your 911 calls are going to go down. In that weekend alone, from Friday to Sunday, run a community event every day from Friday to Sunday, where you have these people out here. We got pastors, we got mental health, we got hospitals, we got COVID tests, we got attorneys, we got DMV, we got people out here reaching the community, reaching these people, getting them in the same way that they're already being profiled. Take the enslavement out of it and give them that back, and you will win. And your community crime rate, according to psychological research, will reduce by over 51%. And that's based on me already living there. And that over 51% is just a general, but it will be over 51% that you would reduce your crime rate by simply instilling hope. And so we're taking that same system, putting hope into the prison systems and reducing sentences on black males, reviewing those cases for cases that are nonviolent, that are sentenced in excess, and reducing those sentences by that same method and formula, and will reduce recidivism. And so with that being said, because it's all research and everything about it can be broken down to show that when a person feels no hope, that the levels of anxiety increase. And so then they're faced with fight or flight. And so you're experiencing they want to fight. They're not flighting, they're fighting. And they're fighting your system. They're not fighting the people, the victims. They're fighting your system. And so the ultimate change must be with the system. And so I hope that I have said that with the most respect, and so that it can be received in the most education possible, because that is what I believe that was put in my heart, and that these grants and these churches all together putting money in can give these people help. You need rent paid, we here today. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we helping you today. Get here. They're going to be in a line. The police helping. You're going to win your respect back. And like I said, the object of it is put your hands behind your back in the ultimate effort of servitude, and serve the community instead of subduing them. And not saying that to you personally, but instead of them being subdued by oppression, serve them. You have to serve the multitude. You have to do this. Otherwise, worldwide, the resources are going to be depleted because the crime rates will be too much. With inflation, crime is going to go more, and the times are going to become more and more perilous. And as the times become perilous, then the strategies for disaster increase, obviously. So the solution to it is by running a mass event to save the mail, and to educate them, and to literally be in the communities and be involved and open those doors to provide hope, and to flood those areas with literature and education and wisdom, and you will reduce your crime rate by over 51%. You will just see it quiet because they will have hope. They will be thinking. They will be planning. And is nobody else that can do that, like that can instill that, other than the police. And so the police have to take the streets back and go out and provide the safety that people are looking for, and provide the resources. And so that is a way that the police can serve the community and get their respect back, and put the black male back in a position and where he feels king of the jungle. And once he feels that, and feels that he can provide, and feel that he can do what he needs to do, then he's not going to turn to the street anymore. That's going to be less. And case in point, the movie Trading Places is a prime example of that. They gave Eddie Murphy a good chance, and he took it and he ran with it. And he was running Wall Street or whatever he was running, and he was doing it. And he used his black knowledge. He didn't even need to take all the classes. He got it after one day and was doing amazing. And so you got to look at it that way. If we cultivate what's down there, you don't know what you're gonna discover. You can discover the next Bill Gates. You could discover the next, whoever. But the point of the matter is, it must start with leadership. In order to correct anything, it has to start with the head. My mom always said, if you destroy the head, you destroy the body. And so it has to start with the head. And so with that being said, I hope this has been good and respectful and seasoned with taste. But I just wanted to say that's what I thought about the black male, and was hoping that you would understand that, and that someone would implement some of those ideas, if not